the Oklahoma City Thunder have a problem that they have to figure out before Game 3 if they want to win this series against the Dallas Mavericks here in the Western Conference semifinals. What up? It's Bryson Akins here with another Thunder Digest video for you guys today. Who would have thought 2-in-1 day, but we're here. Before we get all this though, I just want to take a moment, recognize here that 10% of you guys coming back and watching these videos are subscribed to the channel. The 89.6% of you guys out there that are not subscribed that keep on coming back. If you love the content and you want to know immediately when a new Thunder Digest video drops, the best way to do that is to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Instantly get a notification when a new video here drops, especially for a live stream tomorrow that we have of Game 3. That's right, you heard it here first. First live stream on the channel here. We'll be reacting to Game 3 live while it's happening, so don't miss that. Have your notifications set and be looking for that right before game time, probably around 30 minutes before game time. Also have a community post for you guys out there. But with all that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get into this video. There's a big problem going on right now, not just in this Dallas series, but in the entirety of the playoffs so far in the 6 games that we have played. And it has to do with one of our starters, Josh Giddey, who had a good outing in the post-All-Star break. He was doing well, he was getting his confidence back, and he was playing well, and I was riding high on him. I thought he was going to be our X factor going into the playoffs, but yet in this Mavs series, it's kind of looking towards that he might get benched for another player, as he just hasn't really been producing at the level that we thought he should be, especially right now in the thick of it in the playoffs, especially now it's tied up 1-1 apiece here in the second round against the Mavericks, who are a tough team. We should not take them for granted. Even though they're the 5 seed, and we beat them how we did in Game 1, we can't take them for granted. And if that's the case, Josh Giddey might have to sit the bench. But it's not looking like it with Coach Mark Daigneault coming out here and saying, last night I made the best decisions I could to try to help us win Game 2. Tomorrow I'll make the best decisions I can to help us win Game 3. We'll see how the game unfolds tomorrow. As it relates to every decision I make, I can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow. But I can tell you that Josh Giddey is a very important part of what we're doing. And so as you can kind of see there, Mark Daigneault doesn't want to move Josh Giddey to the bench. It kind of seems like Josh Giddey is an integral part of this Thunder core, and there are some bigger plans out there that only Coach Mark Daigneault could possibly know that what they're going to do with Josh Giddey. Because I don't. Because when you look at the stats, and we're going to look at him here in a second, but when you look at the stats, it's very clear he should probably be a 6th or 7th man coming off the bench. And respectfully, I love Josh. He's one of my favorite players on this Thunder team. When we drafted him, I was riding high on him. Everyone said he was going to be a bust, but I knew he could pan out, and he did. And he has been. Now, he did struggle for a little bit, but he started picking it up again. But in this playoff series, I think he would benefit better from coming off the bench. I just don't think he matches up well against this Dallas Mavericks starting 5. As you can kind of see from these box scores here, this is from the win. Keep this in mind, this is from the win. SJ had 29, all these other guys going off. Then you look at Josh Giddey, who went 1 for 4 from the field, only played 17 minutes, by the way. 17 minutes with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. No turnovers, though, which is nice, and he had somehow to block in there. But his plus-minus is -7. That's not the greatest. But then you look at another guy who I think should probably be starting in this series, especially after his latest few outings and how he's been playing, and I think he matches up well against this Dallas Mavericks team. I think he does. Aaron Wiggins, who went 5 of 7 from the field in 23 minutes of play, 3 of 4 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line, with 16 points, and he had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block, only 2 turnovers, and only 1 foul. And his plus-minus was +18 there. As you can see, Aaron Wiggins has been playing spot just in this series at least. Now, if we go and play Minnesota or Denver next round, this is saying we make it past the semifinals, which I still have 100% confidence in us to go ahead and win in 5 or 6 games. But this is saying when or if we make it to this next round playing one of those 2 teams. Maybe Josh Giddey is the better matchup. Maybe he has an outing where it just proves us in that first game where he's like, yep, he should be the starter over Aaron Wiggins for us. But right now, even in the loss, even in the loss here, I can kind of see Aaron Wiggins is probably the better option. Now, it was a lot closer here, 8 points and 9 points, but the key difference for me is not like efficiency, but It's the plus minus. It's what they're providing for the team. Sure, Aaron Wiggins had a -1 plus minus there in this last game, but Josh Giddey had a plus minus of -20. He wasn't playing really great defense, to say the least. He wasn't. He wasn't moving the ball around well at all. Sure, he only played 11 minutes of play. Only 2 rebounds, 1 turnover, and the turnover I saw him commit there, it was just bad IQ. You could tell he was completely lost out there. He wasn't playing well. He doesn't have confidence at the moment. And so as you can kind of see there, and another thing I want to bring up too is that we'll also talk about is the 3-point shooting. But the big thing is he just doesn't have the confidence going against this Mavs starting 5 that Aaron Wiggins has. Oh, that was an insane voice crack there. Anyways, he just doesn't. He doesn't have the confidence that I think Aaron Wiggins has when he's going out there. And I think that's what we really need, along with some 3-point shooting. I feel like that is huge for us, and I feel like Aaron Wiggins kind of brings that us to this team, especially in that starting shooting guard or small forward role, where we can just have him kind of sit out on the corner or wing, drive in, get everyone to collapse because we know we're going to go to a line when we drive in or get a nice little layup to go. If we can get them to crash and commit to us down low in the paint, we can kick it out to them for a wide open 3, and that increases our odds, I feel like. Because when you look at it here, right here, this is Josh Giddey so far in the playoffs. And he's only averaging 22 minutes of play right now as the starter. He's going 3 of 8 from the field pretty much every single time, 45%, 40% from 3, which really surprised me. He did have a few, like 2 games against New Orleans where he played really well from behind the arc, averaging 10 points. But other than that, when I've seen this Mavs series so far, they're letting him take some shots. They're not really tightly contesting, but they're at least applying a little bit of pressure, and he's not shooting the ball well. Whereas with Aaron Wiggins, he is, and he's not afraid to stop taking threes is the difference. Josh Giddey, once he misses 2, his confidence is done. That's why I feel like he's better off the bench. But when you look here, too, some other stuff, 2.5 assists and 4.5 rebounds. We have him as a facilitator, mainly on this team, I feel like. But yet, he's only averaging 2.5 assists right now in the playoffs with 1.5 turnovers. That's not a great assist-to-turnover ratio at all. I feel like Aaron Wiggins just kind of provides a little bit more for us there. I feel like he just provides more for us, especially what we need against the Mavericks. They're going to shoot the 3 ball, as we saw last night, when they shot almost 50% from the field. And we need to be able to match that, or else, because even though we actually shot better from them from the floor, if you believe that or not, we did. We shot better We shot better than them from the field. Sorry, words are hard to get out, especially when it's alliteration. Anyways, but it's their 3-point shooting that killed us. And they go like that. One game they're off from behind the arc, then the next game they're on, and they proved that last night. But we need to be able to respond. If we had a little bit more 3-point shooting of our own in that starting lineup, I feel like that could benefit us. As you can see here, Aaron Wiggins in 17 minutes of play, sure, he's only taking 2 a game right now in the postseason, but 46% from behind the arc, that's a pretty good number right there. 8 points a game as well, with only 1 turnover, 1.5 steals. Once again, not a great turnover to assist ratio there, but when Aaron Wiggins is on the floor, he's not acting as that facilitator that Josh Giddey is, and so that's what stands out to me, is that their assist-to-turnover ratio are very similar, even though their roles are completely different. Almost averaging a steal a game, only 1.3 fouls per game right now as well, 3 rebounds a game. And so as you can see there, he's shooting great from the field as well, 58%. So as you can see there, Aaron Wiggins is playing efficiently. He's shooting the 3 ball well, and there have been games, as we saw in that game 1 against the Mavs, he shot really well. It's just one of those things. I feel like if our best chance of winning this series is to instead just have Aaron Wiggins start over Josh Giddey, this series at least. When we go on to Minnesota or Denver next round, put him back in the lineup game 1 and see how he does and see how he responds. I'm fine with that because he might match up better. And it takes a game or 2 to see how the matchups look. I just feel like after watching these first 2 games, I feel like Aaron Wiggins is the way to go in the starting lineup ahead of Josh Giddey in this series, or maybe even Cason Wallace. Just throw one of those 2 in there, and I'm fine with it. Just we need a little bit more 3-point shooting and a little bit more defense in this starting lineup against the Mavs if we want a chance to take this series. And unfortunately, Josh Giddey doesn't give us that in this series in the starting lineup. He's a good facilitator, just not the greatest 3-point shooter or defender in the world. That's why I feel like he's better off the bench and facilitate that second string out there and get Isaiah Joe and Cason Wallace some open looks along with J. Will. But that's like a little 2 cents on this. I know we're probably going to see Josh Giddey start again tomorrow. Maybe he proves us wrong coming back in game 3. We'll see. Maybe he proves all the doubters wrong. I'm not doubting him. I still know he's a great player, and his ceiling it's so high. He has so much potential as long as he gets his confidence back and isn't afraid to stop shooting threes. The problem is, he doesn't have it right now. He just needs to find a way to regain it. But I guarantee you, Thunder faithful, we still have faith in him. We're not going to bash him or drag him through the dirt or mud or anything just because we know he can be a great player for us in the playoffs. But that's all I got for today's video. Once again, like I mentioned, if you find yourself sticking all the way to these videos and coming back for more, don't be afraid. Hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel and stay up to date when a new video drops. I'll catch you guys in the next one.